Hello students, welcome to all of you Shiksha 360. Today basically we have to discuss the JAP subject Indian economy and Indian financial system chapter number 43, that is pension products. This is overall we can say that it is a general topic. In this session we will discuss regarding the different schemes provided by the government. So first of all in this session we will discuss regarding the EPF. सबसे पहले इस सेशन में हम ईपीएफ के बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे। तो शुरुआत करते हैं। सबसे पहले कुछ ओवरव्यू देखते हैं कि पेंशन का मतलब यहाँ पर क्या आ रहा है। सो रिटायरमेंट, वेट अ मिनट, यस। सो रिटायरमेंट ओपन्स अप अ न्यू फेस ऑफ लाइफ इन एन इंडिविजुअल्स लाइफ। जैसे कि आप रिटायर होते हो तो आपकी जिंदगी एकदम बदल जाती है। पहले आप डेली ड्यूटी पे जाते थे, अब आपको ड्यूटी पे नहीं जाना। ड्यूटी पे ना जाने के बाद भी आपको कुछ अमाउंट मिलेगी गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से, जो प्रेजेंटली जो अभी वर्किंग है डिफरेंट सेक्टर्स में, जो अभी रिसेंटली अपॉइंटेड है फ्रॉम लास्ट 10 to 12 years, उनके लिए ये सुविधा नहीं है पेंशन की, जो ओल्ड पेंशन की नहीं है। इसके बारे में भी हम देखेंगे कि दोनों में क्या डिफरेंस है, क्यों डिमांड करी जा रही है ओल्ड पेंशन। Hence, one needs to have adequate funds so that he does not have to compromise on his lifestyle during those post-retirement years. Okay, so जैसे कि आप जॉब के टाइम रहते थे वैसे ही वो कहते हैं कि आफ्टर द जॉब भी आप वैसे ही रहें। ओके, आपके लाइफस्टाइल रहने सहने में कोई फर्क ना आए, इसलिए आपको गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से पेंशन दी जाती है। इन द एब्सेंस ऑफ रेगुलर सोर्स ऑफ सैलरी और इनकम, the individual would have to rely entirely on his past savings and investments. Living cost will also rise by the time. अगर आपके पास कुछ भी जैसे रिटायरमेंट के बाद कोई भी पैसा नहीं आ रहा, तो आपको जो आपकी पहले की सेविंग करी हुई है उसी के ऊपर निर्भर रहना पड़ता है, जो कि आज के टाइम में बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है, क्योंकि टाइम के साथ साथ चीजों की कीमतें भी बढ़ती जा रही है। सो द इंडिविजुअल वुड हैव टू टेक इनटू अकाउंट द मेडिकल इमरजेंसी एंड अदर अनफॉर्सीन एक्सपेंसेस, जिनके बारे में हम सोच नहीं सकते बट कई बार आ जाते हैं एक्सपेंसेस इस तरह के। सो दस टू फाइंड आउट वेरियस ओल्ड एज एक्सपेंसेस वन नीड्स टू अंडरटेक केयरफुल प्लानिंग। कैसे हमने अपनी पेंशन के बारे में देखना है कि कैसे हम उसको प्लान करें। सो पेंशन प्रोडक्ट्स प्रोवाइड अ सपोर्टिंग इनकम, लेटिंग द इंडिविजुअल एंजॉय कंप्लीट फाइनेंशियल फ्रीडम इन द गोल्डन ईयर्स। तो वहां पर क्या है, जो उनकी पेंशन है वो ही उनको हेल्प करती है कि उनकी जिंदगी अच्छी तरह से गुजर जाए। ओके, जैसे कि आप लोग भी देखते होंगे काफी पेंशन होल्डर्स आपके ब्रांचेस में आते हैं, उन्हीं के अकाउंट्स आप मेंटेन करते हैं। सो पेंशन सिस्टम एंड इट्स एक्सपेक्ट्स। सो ए पेंशन प्रोवाइड्स अ मंथली इनकम टू द पीपल ड्यूरिंग देयर अनप्रोडक्टिव ईयर्स। सो पेंशन इज नेसेसरी फॉर द फॉलोइंग रीजंस। डिक्रीज्ड इनकम अर्निंग पोटेंशियल विद इंक्रीज इन एज। जैसे जैसे आपकी एज बढ़ती जाती है वैसे वैसे क्या है, आपका जो पोटेंशियल है काम करने का वो धीरे धीरे डिक्रीज कर जाता है ड्यू टू एज फैक्टर। तो वहां पर भी आपको एक पेंशन की जरूरत है, क्योंकि आप उस एज में काम नहीं कर पाते इतना। द राइज ऑफ न्यूक्लियर फैमिली। पहले क्या था, ज्वाइंट फैमिलीज होती थी तो आपका जो खर्चा पानी था वो भी उसी तरह से निकलता रहता था। अब फैमिली जैसे 3 मेंबर्स, एक बेटा या एक बेटी, या एक बेटा एक बेटी, इस तरह से चल रहा है, तो न्यूक्लियर फैमिली की राइज के कारण भी पेंशन की ज्यादा जरूरत पड़ रही है। माइग्रेशन ऑफ अर्निंग मेंबर्स, राइज इन कॉस्ट ऑफ लिविंग, इंक्रीज्ड लॉन्गेविटी, डिग्निफाइड लाइफ इन द ओल्ड एज ड्यू टू लेस फाइनेंशियल डिपेंडेंस। तो ये कुछ रीजंस है। और आपके एग्जाम में भी इन द एग्जाम आल्सो दे विल आस्क दीज टाइप्स ऑफ क्वेश्चन। what are the reasons or what are the conditions or what are the necessary reasons for the pension? First one, that is decreased income earning potential with increase in age. Second one, that is the rise of nuclear family. Third one, that is the migration of earning members. Fourth one, that is the rise in cost of living. Fifth one, that is the increased longevity. Sixth one, that is the dignified life in the old age due to the less financial dependence. Next one, pension products, very very important. What are the different pension products? So while both pension and life insurance products, both are different thing here. While both pension and life insurance products help individual to take care of one's future and the future of one's family members, So there are a few differences between the life insurance plans and the pension plans. तो सबसे पहले हम देखते हैं कि दोनों के बीच में डिफरेंस क्या है। लाइफ इंश्योरेंस प्लान एक अलग चीज है। अभी आप एक और टर्म भी देखते हो, टर्म प्लान एक अलग चीज आ जाती है, पेंशन प्लान एक अलग चीज आ जाती है। ऑल थ्री आर डिफरेंट, लाइफ इंश्योरेंस प्लान्स, पेंशन प्लान्स एंड द टर्म इंश्योरेंस। So while life insurance protects the individual from the financial consequences of the premature death. कई बार क्या होता है, प्रीमेच्योर डेथ दैट इज समय से पहले मृत्यु हो जाना, तो लाइफ इंश्योरेंस कंपनी वाले आपको कुछ अमाउंट पे करते हैं, है क्योंकि आप कॉन्टिन्यूसली उनको प्रीमियम पे करते रहते थे कि अगर मेरी मृत्यु इस टाइम से पहले हो जाती है तो आप मेरी फैमिली को इतना अमाउंट दोगे। Pension products, on the other side, address the risk of living too long so that one resources are adequate to support one's standard of living during the old age. क्लियर? तो आपको यहाँ पर दोनों चीजों में डिफरेंस समझ आ रहा होगा कि जो लाइफ इंश्योरेंस प्रोडक्ट है वो पर्सन की डेथ के बाद उसकी फैमिली को मिलते हैं बेनिफिट्स, और पेंशन का क्या है कि जो आपको अपने जीवित रहते ही आपकी जिंदगी सुखहाल रहे उसके लिए पेंशन दी जाती है। So by investing a certain amount regularly towards a pension product, the individual will build up a considerable sum in a phased manner. So the individual will build up a considerable sum in a phased manner. So they generally have two stages of operation of the pension products. First one, that is the accumulation stage. Second one, that is the vesting stage. This one, it is also important for the examination point of view in the form of the question. What is the meaning of accumulation stage? What is the meaning of vesting stage? Accumulation stage, basically what is that? When one pays a specific amount regularly until the person retirements. जैसे कि आप हर महीने अपनी सैलरी का कुछ हिस्सा किसी फंड में लगा रहे हो कि आपको रिटायरमेंट के बाद वो सारा पैसा मिल जाए। So when one pays a specific amount regularly until the person's retirement. Second one, that is a vesting stage. Once the individual retires, he gets a steady flow of income for the rest of his life. Once the individual retires, that is basically comes under the vesting stage. He gets a steady flow of income for the rest of his life. Okay, so this is both the difference basically between the accumulation stage and the vesting stage. So any pension product, what are the 5 core functions? So must perform the following 5 core functions with a reasonable degree of competence and efficiency. First one, that is reliable collection of contributions, taxes and other receipts, that is including any loan payment in the security system. Payment of benefits for each of the scheme in a timely and correct way. Securing financial management and productive investment of the pension fund assets. Maintaining an effective communication network, including development of accurate data and record keeping mechanisms to support collection, payment, and financial activities. Clear? Basically for what? To support collection, payment, and financial activities. Fifth one here, that is the production of financial statements and reports that are tied to providing effective and reliable governance and to fiduciary responsibility, transparency, and accountability. Clear? So that is production of financial statements and reports that are tied to providing effective and reliable governance and to fiduciary responsibility, transparency, and accountability. So that is basically comes under that. Clear? So any pension product, basically they have to perform the following these 5 functions. So now very, very important, what are the different types of the pension? That is our motive of this session, that is different types of the pension scheme. Basically we have 5 and we have to discuss one by one. Employee Provident Fund Scheme, that is to be known as EPF, PPF, that is Public Provident Public Provident Fund Scheme. This is EPF, employees. Third one, that is Insurance Annuity Schemes, National Pension Scheme, and Atal Pension Yojana. Earlier, basically, this is to be provided, that is pension. Now, this is comes under the NPS. So now let's discuss under these one by one. First of all, EPF, Employees Provident Fund Scheme. What is that? How your funds are to be managed? what is the percentage of deduction, all these things. So this mandatory pension scheme for the private sector, this is mainly for the private sector. It is managed by the Employees Provident Fund Organization, that is EPFO. When it was set up, basically it was set up in the year 1952 and covers employees in specified economic sectors at firms with more than 20 employees. कहाँ पर ये कंपलसरी हो जाता है आपका ईपीएफ में इन्वेस्ट करना कंपनी के द्वारा जहां पर 20 से ज्यादा उसके एम्प्लॉयज हो. It is a statutory body, EPFO organization. Basically, it is a statutory body under the Ministry of Labour, Government of India, which is responsible for regulation and management of provident funds in India. Clear? So it is a statutory body under the Ministry of Labour, that is Government of India. Basically, that is responsible for regulation and management of provident funds in India. Further, what is that? The EPFO administers the mandatory provident fund while outsourcing the management of the scheme assets to the fund managers. Clear? So the EPFO further that is administers the mandatory provident fund while outsourcing the management. Clear? How they have managed, that is to be outsourced, of the scheme assets to the fund managers. Clear? That is, they have to also get benefits, clear, from this fund. That's why basically they will get benefit to the employees. So how they have to manage their funds, they will outsource that. Traditionally, assets have been managed by the PSU banks. Employers basically that is organizations, can be exempted from participation if their pension provides at least the same level of benefits. Like basically sometimes some organization basically not become the part of EPF, that is Employee Provident Fund Scheme. So why they will not? So basically they will provide some other schemes, clear, or other funds to their employees. Clear? So what are these exempted funds, which we will also discuss later in the session. So taking into account the Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1952, the schemes of EPFO are administered by a tripartite board. Basically, three different organization members are to be present here, called the Central Board of Trustees first. All these are to be considered as the Central Board of Trustees. So what is to be included under that board? So the board basically comprises representatives of the government basically both central and state, employers, that is from the organization, and that is basically from the employees. All these are to be constituted under that, and that constitutes a board. This board, it is to be chaired by the Ministry of Labour and Employment, Government of India. Clear? So who chaired this board? That is Board of Trustees or Central Board of Trustees of the Employment Provident Fund Scheme. This is to be chaired by the Ministry of Labour and Employment of Government of India. Kindly remember this point also. Now move to the next one. So what are the different three major schemes under that? Very, very important. Clear? Many of you are not aware regarding that. So the EPF operates the following three major schemes. EPS, Employees Pension Scheme. EDLIS, Employees Deposit Insurance Linked Insurance Scheme. EPF, Employees Provident Fund Scheme. So kindly remember that in the examination they will ask basically what is the full form of EPS and EPF. So please remember that EPS, that is Employees Pension Scheme. EPF, that is Employees Provident Fund Scheme. EDLIS, Employees Deposit Linked Insurance Scheme. So how much contribution basically we are providing to these three major schemes? So now let's discuss one by one. Before moving towards that, now there are some other points regarding the EPF. So all the three schemes, clear, all the three schemes are to be mandatory for the employees. Further, that is EPFO assist the Central Board of Trustees in the administration of a provident fund scheme, pension scheme, and an insurance scheme. Clear? So here basically what? There are three schemes: pension fund scheme, provident fund scheme, and the insurance scheme. For the registered establishments in India, and includes employees of such establishments and international workers, basically who are covered, or we can say that who are working under that organization. So what are the functions? Clear? So EPF functioning basically includes, first one, enforcement of the act across the country. Clear? So wherever, जहां पर 20 से ज्यादा आपके एम्प्लॉयज हैं, वहां पर ये आपको स्कीम को इम्प्लीमेंट करवाना. Maintenance of individual accounts, settlement of claims. जब आप एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन छोड़कर दूसरे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जाते हो तो आपको ये नहीं कि हर बार आपने एक नया ईपीएफओ अकाउंट ओपन करवाना है, क्लियर, उसी को आप ट्रांसफर करवा सकते हो। Settlement of claims, investment of funds, ensuring prompt pension payment, and updating records. Clear? So all these things are to be included under the EPFO functioning. Okay. First one, that is the enforcement of the act across the country. Second one, that is the maintenance of the individual accounts. Third one, that is the settlement of claims. Fourth one, that is the investment of funds. Fifth one, that is the ensuring prompt pension payment. Sixth one, that is the updating records. So very important, that is how much investment they have to do in these funds and what is UAN. EPFO basically introduced universal account number. Clear? EPFO basically introduced universal account number, which acts as an umbrella for multiple member IDs allotted to an individual by different employers. Clear? So EPFO basically introduced universal account number. Clear? This is to be allotted, which is acts as an umbrella for multiple member IDs allotted to an individual by different employers. जैसे आप ऑर्गेनाइजेशन चेंज करते रहते हैं तो वैसे वैसे आपका ये चेंज होता रहता है, मेंबर आईडी चेंज होती रहेंगी, अकाउंट नंबर आपका सेम ही रहेगा. So UNN basically it is how many digit? Basically UAN, it is a unique 12-digit number assigned to an employee by EPFO. UAN enables the linking of multiple EPF accounts, that is member IDs, allotted to a single member. The UAN basically when it was launched, the program basically was launched in the October 2014, and kindly remember that the board formed basically in the year 1952. So the UAN program basically was launched in October 2014 as part of Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Shram Jayati Karyakram. So both the employer, clear how much contribution, both the employer and employee should contribute 12%. क्लियर, जो जॉब कर रहे हो और जो सैलरी दे रहा है दोनों कंट्रीब्यूट कितना करेंगे? 12% करेंगे. अगर आपकी सैलरी जैसे 20,000 है तो आपकी 10,000 मानकर चलो, तो आपकी सैलरी से भी 12% कटेगा, मतलब 1200 आपकी सैलरी से कटेगा और 1200 जो आपका सैलरी प्रोवाइड कर रहा है 1200 वो प्रोवाइड करेगा, तो आपके अकाउंट में कितना जाएगा? टोटल 2400. So both the employer and employee should contribute 12% of employee's salary for EPF. The employer's matching contribution are allocated across EPF and EPS. जो आपके एम्प्लॉयर का कंट्रीब्यूशन है वो दो फंड्स में जाएगा, आपका ईपीएफ में जाएगा और ईपीएस में जाएगा. In EPF, how much percent basically it will goes? 3.67. And the remaining 8.33% basically goes into the EPS. Okay. So the employers matching contribution basically are allocated across EPF and EPS such that basically 3.67% basically goes into the EPF and 8.33% basically goes into the EPS. Okay, so kindly remember these points also, and persons basically who are working in the private sector, so they can also aware that basically how much goes into the EPF and how much goes into the EPS. There is one more thing which we have discussed, that is regarding the EDLIS. Clear? So how much amount basically goes into the, or how much percentage basically goes into that. So how we can calculate? Clear? So basically this, basically when we are adding both these things, it will come up to 12. So how we can calculate how much amount basically goes into that? This we will cover in the next session. Basically, in that I will tell you how we have to calculate that the EPF contribution, how much amount basically, like 3.67, 8.33, 12%. 12% basically it is also one another criteria on the basis of the salary. Clear? All these things we will cover in the next session in detail along with the benefits of EPF. Clear? Just in this session I will discuss the basics of that. Okay. So hope whatever basically we have covered in this session, you are able to understand just the basic of that. In the next session, we will discuss in detail along with some other important questions. So thanks to all of you for joining this basic discussion.